Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. So, with the last video, I received some um, valuable feedback. Feedback was basically that my microphone audio was just bad. Like it was too low. It wasn't sounding good. So, I took some time today and I researched some settings I could use or some different programs I could use to kind of like improve the quality of the audio. So hopefully tonight will be a little bit better of a recording than normal. So um, hello, welcome back. We are playing some more World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. We are continuing the adventures of Chivos, the Night Elf Warrior. And I did a little bit of grinding while I was off camera. We are level 12 now. And I want to can stay in this zone until at least level 13. At level 13, I think we're going to head out to Aberdeen, and we're going to start adventuring out there. So, um, that's pretty much the long and short of it. That's where we are right now. So, if you if you are a subscriber to this channel, you may have noticed that I put a community post yesterday saying that I wanted to change up the format of how I'm playing these games. I want to try and um, have a little bit of like an open-ended conversation. It's like, granted, you're not here, you can't really talk with me, but you can at least converse with me in the comments. So basically, what I want to do is I want to um, dig up a few topics and basically just talk about them. I give my genuine, unfiltered thoughts on various different things that are happening, not just in the WoW community, but like in other areas of interest for myself as well. So what I did is I went and I looked up what's going on with WoW at the moment. I found a few topics to talk about, and since we're really not doing a whole lot of like questing with this challenge, I've noticed that it's gotten a little bit like sparse on the content of what to talk about. So so as a result, I'm going to basically treat this as a one-sided podcast. I'm going to dig up some topics of conversation, talk about them, and if you resonate with what I'm talking about, leave some comments in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you about whatever the topic of conversation is for the video. So, what I want to talk about today, pardon me, I got a frog in my throat. What I want to talk about today is what has happened this week in the WoW Classic scene. And the big story of the week, in case you've been living under a rock, is the WoW token, the World of Warcraft token that allows you to buy gold legitimately through Blizzard, has seeped its way into the World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King client. And it's caused quite a stir. A lot of people are really pissed off about it. A lot of people have some very strong opinions on the WoW token coming to the game, on its potential impact on the game as a whole. And I'd like to spend a few minutes just basically talking about that right now. And so my initial knee-jerk reaction is this is really bad. It's really, really bad. Um, the thing that really kind of messed up retail's economy was the involvement of the WoW token, giving people an easy way to get a lot of in-game currency, and as such, turn that currency into a pay-to-win model of getting gear. And if you've played retail at all in like last like 5 years, um, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Is being able to turn your cold hard cash into WoW gold without having to go through the means of going through like a third party company website to get your gold has made it so easy for these boosting communities to kind of like legitimize carrying people through endgame content, be it PvP or raiding, to get their gear without even having to try to get their gear. So I've got I've got two major thoughts on this. On one hand, it's kind of it's kind of cruddy because it just does all those things that I just said. It allows people um, to get things that they didn't really earn, and so like there's like a little bit of like a morality play there, right? So you kind of wonder, it's like the integrity of like the game is like long gone at this point because of the WoW token. Being able to buy your way into gear and bypassing the pretty much like the core spirit of what like playing WoW is like eliminating a huge portion of the grind and just allowing people to buy their way into top gear. Now, the thing there is like I understand why some people would do it. Like you got like a lot of like older people playing the game now. People that've grown up with World of Warcraft. People that have regular 9 to 5 or even longer jobs like working 10 to 12-hour days so that they can make ends meet, but then using some of that money to buy their way into gear because they don't have the time to spend on it anymore. And while I understand that that is definitely like a legitimate reason for someone to want to do that, it still kind of irks me in the wrong way. It's like it kind of like defeats the whole purpose of the game. And so you have that thought process, but then like you have another process, which is kind of like my thoughts on it is like for those of us like the casual players, like the people that they have stopped rating a long time ago. Um, this change has literally zero effect on me whatsoever. Because one, I don't even play Wrath of the Lich King Classic anymore because I play hardcore. So I'm not even playing in the game mode where the WoW token is being used. So why am I even talking about it? I have literally no stake in it. I mean, I'm pretty much just espousing my thoughts on it because this is my game, man. It's like I've been playing this game for like almost 20 years, and like I kind of have like some kind of like just weird like moral attachment to what the game used to be, and you kind of get disappointed in what the game has become over time, and like as a result, like regardless of the fact that like you don't have any like real stake in this change, you still are kind of like upset that the change has come. But again, like if you're watching this content, you're likely just like me and you're likely just playing hardcore at this point because there's really no other mode of the game that really appeals to you. Like I try going back and playing retail every now and then, uh, dip my toes in the water, so to speak, but it just doesn't hit the same as like classic WoW does. And then even classic WoW has those same issues. It's like if you played classic when it first launched, and you were playing for a few months during that time, you would remember all of the botters that came out with the game. You remember all the people that were leveling up rogues to like level 48 so that they could run dungeons and also go out to Winterspring and just grind Black Lotus spawns over and over and over to sell them on the auction house. So like the botting, the gold selling scene will always be there when there's a market for it. But this is where hardcore has a special leg up. Hardcore doesn't have an economy. You're not allowed to trade. You're not allowed to use the mailbox. You're not allowed to use the auction house. There is no economy whatsoever when it comes to Classic WoW because Classic WoW has eliminated the economy. And as a result, you don't see bots playing Classic WoW hardcore because there's no reason for them to play because no one's buying, no one's trading, no one's using the auction house. And that right there is, I think, what makes hardcore the purest form of classic World of Warcraft. There's no economy, and as such, gives no avenue for botters and gold farmers to come into our game and, for lack of a better word, taint it with their presence. So, you kind of break it down. I care, but then again, I don't when it comes to the WoW token coming to classic Wrath of the Lich King. I have no stake in it. It does not affect me whatsoever. But I feel sad for the people that do involve themselves in that. And so I've been consuming all of the like the drama clips, all the streams. I've been tuning into to Asmongold's takes on all the everything. But having literally no stake in this feels really freeing, you know? It's like I've no reason to care, so I will absorb the drama from a distance. And I think that's pretty much the healthiest way to go about it. Absorb the drama from a distance. But yeah, as people say, it is what it is, right? Um, Now, when I was researching this topic, I was kind of like looking things up and trying to find other talking points uh, for this. I did find one in particular. There was an update, like a forum update on the 25th, May 25th. It says Blizzard has now responded to the controversy in a lengthy forum post, saying that it wasn't something we arrived at lightly. That's corporate speak. Whenever someone tells you that they didn't arrive at this conclusion lightly, like, you hear that so often when people are just trying to not fan the flames, but like kind of like reduce the pressure of the flames just a little bit. So they say that this wasn't something we arrived at lightly. It addresses the impact of bots and illicit real money transactions, saying it feels that offering the WoW token is part of a larger strategy for combating those things. It also says that while it conflicts with our previous desire to keep the token out of Wrath Classic, this shouldn't impact most regular players. Now, I agree with that and I disagree with that. And I agree with it in the terms that, yes, it does hamper the effect of gold buyers, gold sellers, all that. By offering the token through legitimate channels, you're not going to have people putting their systems at risk by going to nasty third-party clients. You just buy the gold directly from the company. But on the other hand, you're buying it directly from the company, which tells me that this was nothing more than a cynical cash grab by the company. And what incentive would the company have to introduce the WoW token to the game? Money. Plain and simple. Like, you could very easily handle the botting problem, the botting plague, by just hiring a couple of people to like sit on servers and ban gold sellers, and like remove these illicit channels that people are using to make money. When you see people have this massive influx of cash coming to like one of their accounts, that should raise an immediate red flag, and that's something that you can act on. When you see gold sellers spamming in general chat and trade chat, that's a red flag that you can act on. All you have to do to combat this is put people in place to fix the problem. But they're not going to do that. Because, one, you have to pay them a wage. Two, you have to pay them benefits like medical, dental, family leave, parental leave, all that stuff. You have to put money out in order to combat the problem, which hurts the bottom line. And you don't want to do that when you're running a company. You want to better your bottom line. And so implementing the WoW token helps the bottom line rather than having to pay all these people to basically fix the problem for you, right? And so from a business perspective, it makes total sense. Just slap the WoW token in and wash your hands, call it a day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, I understand it, but I don't agree with it. Now, to the last sentence in this post, it also says that while conflicts with their previous desire to keep the token out of Wrath Classic, this shouldn't impact most regular players. And you're right. It should not impact most regular players, because most regular players aren't going to engage with this. Players like myself. I'm a casual, regular player. I don't really deal in any kind of microtransaction whatsoever. I have actually never used the shop for myself. I have bought things from the shop as a gift for other friends. I had friends in the past that liked the pets, they liked the mounts and stuff like that. And it was an easy gift to get for someone else. So I would very happily get something from the shop and gift it to them. But I've never bought anything from the mount shop or the pet store or anything like that for myself. The only times I've ever used real money to do something is for like a transfer service to move a character from one server to another. That's pretty much the only time I've ever paid for a service in this game outside of my regular subscription. That's it. So I'm most definitely not the target demographic for this change. So I do agree with that last part. Like it literally does not affect me in any way. It just makes me a little upset that it's in the game now. So that's pretty much my thoughts on it. I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about it. I mean, because I know I'm probably in the minority of players that just logs on every now and then and plays for a little bit and gets my levels up, and that's pretty much it. I don't engage with the game a whole lot anymore, but I do like to hop on and just play the game. So I do keep in the new with the news and the various dramas that go on with the game. Let's see what else. Actually, this is something that is actually very interesting to me, and it's that the classic honor grind system is supposed to be getting an update soon. Now, as to what that update entails, I have no idea. They just mentioned that they are going to try and revamp the honor system to make it a little bit less of a soul-crunching grind. So, as of yet, we don't know what that's going to entail. But they did mention that they are going to be resetting honor across the board for all players when they decide to implement this system, which should be coming in probably a few weeks, I believe. So if you are someone that is grinding honor right now, if you're close to getting to your goal, you probably want to finish. But if you got the majority of the grind still ahead of you, you probably want to back off a little bit, or just continue playing like your casual battlegrounds and just like enjoying the game. But as far as grinding with purpose, you might want to back off on that, because that's going to be changing very soon and your honor is going to be reset. But that doesn't really pertain to myself or a lot of the other people that are playing hardcore right now, because most people playing hardcore are not doing PvP because it doesn't make any sense. Because one, if you die in a battleground, you die for real, and also as part of the hardcore leveling challenge, you are not allowed to wear any battlegrounds gear. So doing battlegrounds for rewards doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Let's go ahead and read a little bit of what the the developers have said about the classic reset. So this is directly from a blue post that I'm reading this off of. It says, "Greetings. We're preparing a new 1.14.4 patch for WoW Classic Era to support WoW Classic Hardcore Realms. In addition to official Hardcore Realms, this patch will also include a large update to the vanilla PvP honor system for all Classic Era realms." Now, this next part is in bold. It says, "This patch will completely reset all current honor system ranking progress on all Classic Era realms when it's released." So, that's what I was just saying. It's like, be wary. It's going to reset you. "While we do not have a specific date to share yet for when the patch will be released, we want you to know that it will likely arrive in the next 8 to 12 weeks. If you're in the middle of ranking in WoW Classic Era, you may want to take that time frame into account before continuing. If you're about to start ranking a character, you may not have enough time to hit rank 14 before the patch arrives and your progress is lost. Please know that we do not take something like a PvP ranking progress reset lightly. The updates we're making to Classic Era version of the game are required for the long-term health of that version of the game. We look forward to providing more information on this when we open the Classic Era patch 1.14.4 PTR sometime in the next several weeks. Thank you." So, likely that is going to coincide with the patch that is going to bring us official hardcore servers and the new season of whatever they decide to call it. So, probably going to come at the back end of summer. So, while we do still have time to play the game as it is right now, late summer is going to bring a lot of changes with it. So, please do bear that in mind. And the least important, but still kind of important change that is coming is there is a water pathing hotfix that is coming with, I believe this patch is actually gone live because it was a hotfix that they decided to implement to the game. Apparently, there were some issues with some of the mobs pathing incorrectly, and even some player pets like voidwalkers or whatever. They were pathing incorrectly in the water that was causing some undue stress, causing some deaths, things like that. So, let's read this real quick. It says, "Blizzard has pushed a hotfix to WoW Classic Era realms, addressing enemy pathing in water. This fix is already live for North American realms and will be deployed to EU realms later this evening." So yes, this change is up and at 'em, live and ready to roll. So that's pretty much the key talking points for WoW at the moment. If you do have anything to add to this conversation, I'd be more than happy to hear from you, and I will definitely respond to any comments that come through on my channel. I do keep the YouTube Studio app on my phone open and active, so I will see any comments that come through, and I can respond in a timely fashion. So if you want to have an open line of communication, feel free to comment to the channel, because I will see it. Outside of that, last time I recorded, I was actually on my way out to a wedding. And the wedding was lovely. If you were looking for any kind of update on that, it was my wife's best friend and her husband. They decided they wanted to have a Western-themed wedding, which seemed really out of the blue for those two, because They're not exactly like a big country folk. They're not really all up into the country business. They're more nerdy folk like myself. Big D&D players. They played Magic a little bit, played WoW a little bit, but their focus has always been kind of like on Dungeons and Dragons. So I kind of expected something along those lines for the wedding. Um, but it was made abundantly clear why they chose the big country style wedding once all the guests started to arrive, because all the extended family from both of their sides, they're definitely the big country folk. So it was nice. It was like seeing the bride and the groom decked out in full 1800s Western attire was fantastic. Everybody was dressed to the nines. They looked wonderful. The wedding itself was actually officiated by my wife's grandmother, which I thought was very special because she is a very lovely lady who has literally everyone's respect. Everyone loves this woman, and for good reason. She's a very pleasant woman. Always the kind of person to give the shirt off her own back to help other people. So I was very pleased to see her being the one to officiate the marriage. It was very nice. And yeah, so the rest of the evening was pretty chill, pretty low key. I'm not a very social person, IRL, but it was nice to go out and just spend an afternoon with some of my wife's friends, even though I didn't know hardly anyone there. It was still a nice outing. So yeah, that's what's new with me. Um, Aside from that, I've been doing a lot of work at work, surprisingly. Working on getting my new route detailed correctly and sequenced in a manner that makes sense to not just myself but anyone else that works on my route while I'm gone. It's a big change from what I was used to. For those of you who don't know, I am a delivery driver for a national snack brand. I will not say which snack brand because I don't want to disparage anyone or encourage anyone to buy our products. Um, but I do work for a national snack brand. But the thing with my route is I'm going to a route that is very different from the one that I was working last month. My route last month, and for like the last couple years as well, was a very early morning route. You had to be there very early because you drive a lot of miles and you have a lot of stores that were open 24 hours, so you could service each store very early in the day, which was nice for me because I'm a pretty nocturnal person. I like being awake at night. I like being awake in the early hours before anyone else is. It's what I like to do. Now, problem is the route that I've come to is in a very sleepy college town where most of the stores don't start operation until like 5 or 6 in the morning, which is really messing up my circadian rhythm. It's like I'm having to stay up later, work later, get up later. Like my entire clock has shifted like this. And it's really messing me up. It's making me very cranky during the daytime, and I'm not liking it. But it's something that I have to get used to because I'm kind of stuck there at the moment, at least until another route opens up. But who knows? Maybe as time goes on, I might end up liking this route more. And because it is a college town route, I will very likely um, end up liking it more during the summer months because I will have much less actual work to do during the summer months. So we will see exactly how that goes. I was like, apparently, by all counts, my route, like sales plan, should reduce significantly. once the summer months come in and everyone is off from school. Because not only will my school markets close down, but all of the other stores in town as well will drastically reduce in productivity because all of those college kids are going to be out of town. But that is at least what I'm being told. We will cross that bridge when we get to it. And our inventory is bursting, so we need to head back and sell some product. Sell some product. Listen to me. I'm in work mode right now. I did just get home from work, by the by. So I do hope that the microphone levels are sounding better for you guys today. I did spend quite a bit of time, about like an hour or so, like researching how I should have my microphone set up. I played with the gain levels a bit. Played with the directionals. So hopefully it's sounding good. I would be happy to find out what you guys think as well. So yeah, it's that's pretty much the long and short of what I got to talk about today. So the rest of this episode is going to be pretty low key. So I I mentioned this in previous episodes as well. It's like I'm kind of toying with the length of the videos. I want to know about how long of a video are you guys interested in watching or listening to, and how do you consume this content also? Because I actually watch a few leveling series as well, but I don't watch them. I listen to them. I put them on in the background while I am at work out of my route. So I have something, at least have like another voice in the room with me. So like these kind of episodes are going to be very audio based for me at least. But I'm curious if like, is that the same for you? Do you listen in as like a second monitor content or even third monitor content in your pocket? Because that's how I consume this kind of content. So I'd be interested to find out how you do as well. Because any kind of information, any kind of feedback that gets to me, I do take into account, and I would like to learn what my my listeners are or how they're consuming the content, because that's just going to help me decide how I'm going to make content in the future. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, yeah. I'm finding myself at a lack of things to say now. My mouth's been running at a mile a minute for like the first like 40 minutes. It's it's a little bit harder to just speak consistently over a long period of time when you don't have anyone to like bounce your ideas off of. I guess that's why like the two-person podcast model works so well, because you can actually bounce ideas off of someone else. And I don't really have that luxury. So I'm pretty much having to train myself to learn how to just speak into an empty room. So I do hope you guys are enjoying this at least a little bit. I have been receiving a good deal of comments on my channel lately, um, with little bits of feedback here and there, which is, and I tell you, it's valuable. It's really, really valuable to me, because you guys are telling me what I need to work on, what you enjoy about the content, what you don't, um, and that's helping me shape how I approach this going on. And the subscriber count has been going up slowly, which I really enjoy. I'm not losing any subscribers, but I'm gaining them like little by little as the videos go on. So it tells me that at the very least the videos are reaching other people and kind of finding the audience that wants this kind of content. So yeah, and that's a it's heartening to me to know that it's finding the right people slowly but surely, and makes me really interested in continuing the content and putting more videos out over and over. I mean, granted, my upload cadence isn't the greatest, especially with this new route that I picked up, because like my free time has like slowed to a crawl. Like my previous route, I was able to put out more content because I had more free time because I had my old route dialed and I knew exactly what I needed to be doing day in day out. And this new route, I'm having to learn all my new accounts. I'm having to learn how I can actually approach it, and so it's been a struggle. So I've only been on this route for this is starting my third week on this route, and it's it's been rough, especially with a Memorial Day weekend coming up too. Is like the sheer volume um, of these stores that I've been servicing has been through the roof. I mean, like absolutely bonkers volume, which is great for sales. I mean, I'm making good money out there, but it doesn't give me a whole lot of free time to put my thoughts to paper, so to speak. And so I've been taking like the few minutes that I get from time to time and like making little notes in my phone. And that's how I'm wanting to approach the content going forward is like I'm going to make some bullet point notes. So I have like a little bit of an outline to kind of like talk on as I'm going through this. And that's going to be the process. So tell me if you like this format a little bit more than the way I've been just kind of like talking off the cuff in the previous episodes, because the previous episodes I've just been going stream of consciousness talking. This one was a little bit more structured. I had things to talk about and I talked about them. Um, so if we want to try and focus or dial in a little bit harder and just do kind of like an open-ended podcast kind of situation, I'm all for it. Because like I do enjoy having a little bit of structure there. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you like this, drop a like on the video. I mean, it'll definitely tell me exactly how people are enjoying what I'm doing here. Um, and leave a comment for me. I mean, that way I can get back to you and we can have a little back and forth. And if you want more of this kind of content, subscribe. And it'll tell you when I upload new content, and it'll tell me that you're enjoying the content. And that's really the most valuable metric for me, is knowing that people are enjoying what I'm doing. And it's not going to tell me that I'm basically wasting my time putting these videos out. But regardless, I'm having fun doing it. I'm liking making videos, and it's giving me something to do with my off time. So I'm really into that. So until next time, take care of yourselves out there, and yeah, ciao for now.